Massive news less than 24 hours after President Biden suspended his bid for re-election and endorsed his VP. This article reads, Kamala Harris's presidential campaign raises nearly $50 million since Biden endorsement. And if you're wondering what radical left-wing news source I'm getting this from, this is coming straight from Fox News. That's right, Fox News is being forced to report on the successes of the Harris campaign less than a day into it. And this is causing Donald Trump to melt down on Truth Social. He will not stop firing off posts, and we'll get to that. But first, this article reads, Vice President Harris's presidential campaign has raised nearly $50 million in grassroots donations since President Biden suspended his re-election bid and endorsed her, Fox News Digital has learned. Keep in mind, this didn't even happen 24 hours ago, and they've already raised $50 million in grassroots donations. These aren't billionaire or millionaire donors. These are just common folk, average voters, sending a few dollars to the Harris campaign. $50 million comprised of $20 bills, $50 bills. That is a massive, massive win and shows that people are ready to mobilize. People are energized. And at the end of the day, this election is going to depend on voter turnout. I mean, all elections do, but this election in particular will depend on who can energize their fan base more. Quote, since the president endorsed VP Harris yesterday afternoon, everyday Americans have given $49.6 million in grassroots donations to her campaign, the Harris campaign told Fox News Digital. And this article was written a few hours ago, so I'm assuming today, tomorrow, throughout the rest of the week, this number will keep growing. It's probably already over 50 to 60 million by the time you're watching this video. The campaign told Fox News Digital that the figure represents grassroots donations raised across, quote, all entities, including Act Blue. Harris announced her presidential campaign Sunday afternoon, just after Biden announced he would drop out of the 2024 race amid pressure from within the Democratic Party. The unprecedented announcement came as an increasing number of Democrat lawmakers begun to call publicly for Biden to step aside, and the party's leadership reportedly was engaged in efforts to convince Biden he could not win November's general election. Biden quickly offered his, quote, full support and endorsement for Harris to take over as the party's presidential nominee. Quote, it has been the greatest honor of my life to serve as your president, Biden wrote in a public letter. Quote, while it has been my intention to seek re-election, I believe it is in the best interest of my party and the country for me to stand down and focus solely on fulfilling my duties as president for the remainder of my term. Incredibly selfless, incredibly great move from President Biden, incredibly smart man. Donald Trump, on the other hand, has been posting on Truth Social all morning. Let's start off with last night where he said, Biden never had COVID. He is a threat to democracy. Who is running our country right now? It's not Crooked Joe. He has no idea where he is. Then he picks it back up this morning. He said, the Democrats pick a candidate, Crooked Joe Biden. He loses the debate badly, then panics and makes mistake after mistake, is told he can't win, and decide they will pick another candidate, probably Harris. Honestly, this isn't even coherent. The past few posts from him have not been coherent. They stole the race from Biden after he won it in the primaries. First, these people are the real threat to democracy, and that is the framing that Trump is going to be using, that the Democrats stole the race from Biden. He then said, it's a new day, and Joe Biden doesn't remember quitting the race yesterday. He is demanding his campaign schedule and arranging talks with Presidents Xi of China, Putin of Russia, concerning the possible start of World War III. Biden is, quote, sharp, decisive, energetic, angry, and ready to go. Donald Trump is honestly the one who is just incoherently rambling. Donald Trump also asked for a reimbursement for the amount of money they spent fighting Crooked Joe Biden, as he calls him. That is not how politics works. Also, a lot of right-wingers are completely melting down. Watch this clip of Hannity on Fox News playing clips of VP Harris laughing, just being herself. Hannity thinks this is some sort of takedown, this is some sort of silver bullet, but leave a like on the video if you also think this only makes Harris more likable. All of these clips just make her more likable. Watch this Fox News hit piece.
The largest investment ever to take on the climate crisis, roughly $1 trillion with a T. I had to. You think you just fell out of a coconut tree? You exist in the context of all in which you live and what came before you. One of the things I love are Venn diagrams. I love Venn diagrams. You need to get...
If this is all they have against her, then they don't have anything. These are incredibly weak attacks, and I'll continue playing the video, but this is literally their takedown of Kamala Harris. The day she announced her campaign, they released these clips, and she's being completely normal. She's actually quite charismatic.
To go and need to be able to get where you need to go to do the work and get home. The significance of the passage.
They're clipping up 4-second clips of her saying awkward stuff or just having awkward wording and acting like this is some sort of kill shot. Come on. Leave a like on this video if you think this only makes her more likable.
Right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time. More parents are seeing the value of educators when they had to bring their kids and say, we're not paying them nearly enough. It is time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day it is time for us to agree. We all believe that when we talk about the children of the community, they are children.
Most of these clips are completely fine. Like, honestly, all of these clips are completely fine. Maybe this clip, her laugh sounded a little bit weird because of the mask, but honestly, I think most of the attacks that have been launched from the right are thinly veiled, racist, and sexist attacks. Honestly, not even thinly veiled. Watch this clip of Sebastian Gorka, who worked for the Trump administration, calling Kamala Harris a DEI hire and saying racist remarks.
I mean, do these donors really think that Kamala Harris is going to do better in Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania than Joe Biden would? I mean, that's the because it can't be anybody else, right?
Hey, Rob, you're being logical. Stop it. All right. She's a DEI hire, right? She's a woman. She's colored, therefore she's got to be good.
Yeah.
And
I mean, do these donors?
What the hell does DEI hire even mean in this scenario? Like, remember after the bridge collapsed in Baltimore and people were calling the Baltimore mayor a DEI mayor when he was elected into that position? That is not what that phrase means at all. They are literally just using it as a slur. They are being straight up racist, and that is what Gorka is doing with Kamala Harris here as well. If Kamala Harris wins come November, which I hope she does, they're going to call her the DEI president, which doesn't make sense because she was voted in by the American people. She was elected. And I have a feeling that a lot of MAGA Republicans aren't going to be able to conceal their racism and sexism when attacking Kamala Harris during the campaign cycle, because there is a way to attack your political opponents that isn't nasty. I mean, they're both running political campaigns. If they want to attack Harris's legislation or her policy goals, that is fine. That is politics. But what is going to happen inevitably is that these Republicans, some of them at least, are so sexist and racist that they aren't going to be able to hide it when attacking Kamala. I've already seen people on social media making posts. They don't even realize they're being sexist when they're making fun of certain qualities, of certain aspects. When they make fun of the way she speaks, or when they call her annoying or uppity, those are inherently sexist remarks. Again, if you're conservative and you want to disagree with her tax policy and break that down, that's a different story. But if you're conservative and you're calling her DEI hire, then your racism might win moderates over to the Democratic Party. When moderate voters see that Republicans are being disgusting towards VP Harris, I don't think they'll be okay with that. Either way, if you enjoyed this video, make sure you leave a like, comment a blue heart, hit that subscribe button. Most importantly, have a great day.